Welcome, everybody. This is Sue Maya and another episode of Quantum Theology. I hope you're all doing well today. Today we're going to talk about faith in things that you do not see, that you first believe and then you see. And that's the affirmation for this moment. With faith, I first believe, then I see. Some say seeing is believing, but my spiritual self first believes, then sees. Faith does not require that I know all the steps to take before I begin my journey. I pray with faith, then open my mind, open my heart to guidance. When children write letters to Santa Claus, they hope their wishes will come true. My belief is even greater than that of a child. With grown-up faith, I turn within and listen. The answers I receive may be chance encounters, unexpected opportunities, gifts, or exciting new ideas. My faith is confirmed every day. I follow through on the guidance I receive. As I am led, I act. I put feet under my prayers. First I believe, then I see. And the scripture for that can be found in Mark 10, line 52. Jesus said to him, "Go, your faith has made you well." Immediately he regained his sight and followed him on the way. I'd like you to think about that today as we get closer to the holidays, and some people are feeling sad, some are elated, some are struggling. At times we don't know how it's going to turn out for us. If you had a bad day this week like I did, it can turn around. That doesn't mean the whole week will be like that. It doesn't mean that every night will be like that. It can turn around. A smile, a gift, a new sense of hope, an expanded vision of perspective can turn it around for you. It did for me. Not every day is good. No. But if you believe first, then you will see what you have hoped for. Consider that for a moment. So many times in this world we're disappointed in the reality of things we perceive, what we hear, what's on the news. But that isn't the whole picture. That's not everything everywhere. God reveals to us that there's a much greater universe than the one that we can perceive on this planet, or even in our own town, or in the media, or on the net, or in groups, or in parties. Reality is not defined by our perceptions. Our perceptions are limited. What we see and hear, what we feel, they're all limited by living in a physical being at the moment that we are right now. But that is not the total reality that God provides. It's just our temporary here and now. And we can transcend. We can transcend dimensions. We can transcend through faith, through guidance, through angelic realms. We can transcend through knowledge and experience. So sometimes when you have to move past what your reality is here, you start by a vision or something that you read and say, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for a new perspective because I know God has a greater reality in store for us, and that is what I'm going to put my faith in. Here's one on prosperity. God is my all. I am grateful and abundantly blessed. My prosperity does not depend upon a person or thing. My feeling of fulfillment comes from my awareness of spirit and recognizing the many blessings I receive and can receive. My appreciation for these blessings grow when I take time to give thanks for all that I have and will receive. Prosperity comes to me in many forms: family, friends, joy, health, and so much more than can be listed. While the contents of a wallet or purse may be a reflection of finances, my true prosperity comes from spirit. If I should have a financial concern, I turn within and give thanks in advance that Spirit is opening the way to new and creative avenues for my finances to flow. Today and every day I affirm, I am abundantly blessed. And here's some scripture for you to look up. I will heal them and reveal to them abundance of prosperity and security. And that's out of Jeremiah 33, line 6. So we're going to talk about what does it mean to be blessed in ways that you cannot perceive. You know, people are buying presents. Maybe you don't have a lot of money this time. Maybe you didn't send out, or maybe you didn't receive a lot this year. But it's still in the works. Abundance is still in the works. It's still flowing. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped for the holidays. It hasn't stopped because of your beliefs, but it can be opened. And avenues are still flowing. So consider that today while we wait for some more people to arrive. What would you like to share about that? How have you been blessed in ways that you did not perceive before? How have you been blessed in ways that you could not count, in ways you haven't imagined before they showed up? How did people or words or books or the sky or nature bless you in ways that you did not expect? Well, I'll give you an example from my life, and then I'm going to open up the call for discussion. When I'm, in a lot of pain, sometimes when I least expect it, I'm trying to take the medicines and the nutrients, feed myself, rest, get myself better. Sometimes in my weakest, most tearful moments, I'll look out the window and I'll see a deer eating from the grass in the yard. And then suddenly all of my my self-centeredness goes away, because I see the deer, and they travel, they move, they don't own land. Here they are, stop for a moment to chew on some grass right in front of me, right at the moment when I can't even think of anything else. And they remind me, wow, that's amazing. So in those moments of pain, I'm given a gift. I see something that I wasn't expecting to see. And there it is, a reminder that God's world, nature, the universe is much greater than just me, what I think and feel, what I expect. Because what I expect, what any one of us expects, is so much smaller than God's world, His creation. Much, much bigger than what we can imagine in this world. Let me share with you something else before we open this discussion. If you ever doubted what I'm telling you tonight, I encourage you to open the New Testament to the book of Hebrews, chapter 11. The whole chapter is devoted to faith in things that were unseen. And it goes down the list of forefathers and patriarchs who were gifted with blessings before they even expected them. The whole chapter is devoted to it. But I like to read to you the first couple of lines. Faith makes us sure of what we hope for and gives us proof of what we cannot see. It was their faith that made our ancestors pleasing to God. Because of our faith, we know that the world is made at God's command. We know that what can be seen was made out of what cannot be seen. Everything in the universe, everything in God's creation was made out of what is not seen. Call it dark matter, dark energy, His word, His consciousness, His vision for humanity, for animals, trees, water, fire, earth, air, and all the elements. All chemistry, physics, biology, all of the matrices of the interconnections between life forms, what they eat, what they fertilize, how they transmit, everything was created out of God's vision, which was invisible to us, invisible to anyone before it was in motion. And if He put the universe in motion by His thought, by His word and intention, all of that was invisible before it became being, it became reality or manifest. And He gave us that gift to know what to do when we wanted to be creating in His likeness, being just like Him, as it was said. We were given those gifts of consciousness. It says it in Genesis. We were created in His likeness. That means so many things. You can expand that. For so many different ways, we are created in His likeness. And the number one thing is putting thought into motion is what made reality. He did it first. He showed us how it was done. So, if you don't believe in what could happen, you'll have to go back and say, well, how did that happen before? How did reality become reality before it was even known? That's where you start, too. In the innocence, in the purity, in the clarity of intention. Like, I'm going to put a thought and intention in motion, and I trust and I have faith that this is the formula for manifesting what you want. Because it's been done so many times before, and there are thousands, maybe millions of witnesses in history who have accounts of things put into motion becoming reality. Thousands and millions of witnesses that that's how it's done. So again, you can go back to the book of Hebrews, the first 2 lines. And if you're just joining us, I'll tell you again. Book of Hebrews, chapter 11, lines 1 through 4, I believe. Let me look at it again. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Do you need me to read it again? Faith makes us sure of what we hope for and gives us proof of what we cannot see. It was their faith that made our ancestors pleasing to God. Because of our faith, we know that the world was made at God's command. We also know that what can be seen was made out of what cannot be seen. And he lists Abel, Enoch, Noah, Abraham, and Sarah, and Moses, and on and on. The whole chapter is devoted to witnesses of how that worked. So it really is a truth to the nature of reality. Say to yourself, well, I only believe in 3 dimensions. But now science is showing us that there are many more. They couldn't see it. They couldn't see it before, but now they know that there are more dimensions. They can prove it by mathematics, and they haven't gotten there yet. Or maybe if they have and they're using it, we will find out. I'm pretty sure they know about the 4th and 5th dimensions. And where's the proof of that? Well, you have to have the right equipment, the right vision, and senses to know about it. So when we do healing work, we do energy healing work, we're working in the 4th and 5th dimensions. So you have to have that faith that it exists in order for it to work, in order for it to have the effect that you want.